الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر صدق الله العظيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه آمين يا رب العالمين. Last week we did the tafsir, or we learned Surah AlAsr. But after that, when I thought about it, I felt like I did not do much justice with it. We spent an hour, but Quran, every surah, every ayah, every word cannot be explained in 1 hour or in 10 hours or in 10 years or in 100 years. But we do best whatever as a human we can. So there were different points that when I thought about it, I thought I will touch this again from different angles. This Surah AlAsr, has only 3 ayah. The first ayah has only one word, which is wal asr. Qasam hai zamane ki. Allah Ta'ala says, I swear upon time. The second and the middle is innal insana lafi khusr. Human, insan, as a whole, as jameel, is in grave loss. And there is not one particular insan. That means the whole Bani Adam is in grave loss. Then, and that's a principle. Remember that. First ayah is a qasam. The middle ayah is the principle. Third ayah is an istisna, is an exception. Illa allazina, except the ones amanu, that accepted Islam, wa amilu salihat, and did good deeds, وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ, and steadfast upon haqq, وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ, and then steadfast on sabr, and they did sabr. But if you see in these 4 things, iman, amal salih, tawasaw bil haqq, and tawasaw bil sabr, there is wow in it. Amanu wa amilu salihat wa tawasaw bil haqq wa tawasaw bis sabr. If you do 3 things, it's not going to do it. If you do 2 things, it's not going to do it. And majority of our Muslims, they think once you do Muslim, when you are Muslim, you do kalma, you are born to a Muslim family, you are done. Jannat is your mother's birthright. Oh, bhai. क्या पूछते हो? हम तो रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के मानने वाले हैं. अरे हमको आग कहाँ छुएगी भाई? थोड़ा बहुत हिसाब किताबों को तो जन्नत में जाना. That is against Quran. That's not what Quran is telling us. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. That's why Imam Shafi'i said that if Allah has not revealed the whole Quran, this is the rahmah, this is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He revealed the Quran, big Quran, 114 surahs. If Allah had not revealed this Quran and had sent some hidayah, that would have been enough for the whole mankind till the day of Qiyamah. Surah AlAsr would have been enough. And Imam Razi, rahmatullah alayhi, in his tafsir, he wrote that when Allah created humans, and He created Jahannam, and He created Jannah, hell and heaven, He decided that I will put every human in Jahannam. All the humans will go to Jahannam. But His mercy Allah is very merciful. He's Rahim. He's Rahman. Then he said, he made an exception. Except إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Otherwise, this surah is a statement from your Lord that every human is going to go to Jahannam. And we're going to touch that and we're going to understand that today. Why? Even though a human is in grave loss, Quran says that he's in loss. Innal insana lafi khusr. But the opposite of loss is success, is victory, prosperity, and that's an exceptional case. We have read Surah Wat-Tin before that, and if you bring all those little small surahs that we've been reading, if that there is a chain, everything will come like a chain. If we understand Surah Wat-Tin, we can understand this one a lot better. What says in Surah Tin, وَالتِّينَ وَالزَّيْتُونِ وَطُورِ سِينِينَ وَهَذَا الْبَلَدَ الْأَمِينَ لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَاهُ أَسْفَلَ سَافِلِينَ. Then says, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. So if we understand Surah Wat-Tin, then we can understand this one better. If you look at this surah, if you take this surah and then take what Isa alayhi salatu, if you look at the Bible, it's been changed hundreds and thousands of times. It's been totally adulterated. But somewhere you will see that there is small places, small pockets where you can see that this could be the kalam of a Nabi. Yes, the Bible is adulterated, it's been changed, but there are things. Now see, there has been some sermons, some wa'az, some khutbah that were done by Isa alayhi salatu wassalam. And those are called the sermons of mountain. Pahari ke wa'az, he used to go stand on a small hill and he used to go. This is always happened when a person gives a wa'az or a speech, he sits or stands on a little higher place so he can see everybody and everybody can see him. So he used to stand up on a hill, a little mountain, so those are called the sermons of the mountain. And in one of the sermons of the mountains, he says, enter from the narrow doors. Enter from the narrow doors. Because the doors that are big, the doors that are very big and wide, and the road that is wide, the big doors and the wide road will lead you to the destruction. Why? Because the masses are walking on the road. Everybody is going through a big door. If there is a big building, if there is a Jummah prayer and there is a big masjid, and that masjid has a big door and outside is a big parking lot, and then there is a small door and outside is a small. What do you think the people will go? Everybody will go to that big door. So Isa alayhi salatu wassalam says, enter the small door, enter the narrow door, don't enter the big door and go on the wide road because masses, because everybody is going in that, and that will lead you to destruction. वो चौड़े रास्ते और वो बड़े दरवाजे तुमको तबाही की तरफ ले जाएंगे. Go through the doors that are narrow. उस दरवाजे से निकलो जो कि छोटा हो, तंग हो, and उस रास्ते पे आ जाओ जो कि छोटा हो, क्योंकि वो तुम्हें कामयाबी की तरफ ले जाएगा. Those doors will take you to success. Because very few people are traveling on it. Now look around you. Don't you find it true today? Just go outside. Today is Saturday night. Go to downtown and see where the people are going. There is a masjid in downtown there, and go see if there is anybody there. There are at least 10 big churches that I know in downtown. Go and see if there is anybody there. There must be some dozen or more or less of some discos and clubs, and I'm sure there are big lines there. Everybody's trying to enter there. Everybody's trying to go towards destruction. So if you see what Isa ﷺ said, and you look at it this side, Innal insana lafi khusr, then you will understand what Isa ﷺ, because all Anbiya and Rusul has brought the same message. When Quran says wal asr, a person who over the bad thing that happened with us, and not with us, the people from Indo-Pak, or people from Malaysia or Indonesia, even with Arabs, they have forgotten the Arabic. When you go to Saudi Arabia, you go to Kuwait, or you go to Dubai, and you see people talking with each other, that's not Arabic what's written in the Quran. It's a different Arabic. Those people, even you ask an Arab, I have asked so many times Arabs the meaning of very simple ayahs, and they could not tell me. But at that time, when a man listened, wal asr, qasam has zamane ki, or I swear upon time, he's shocked, he's really shaken. What does it mean? It will wake you up. See, the beauty is that we have invented 3 time frames. We have 3 time frames, which is, one is mazi, the past, which is gone, hal, which we call it present, and mustaqbil, which is future. But in fact, there are only 2 times, past and future. There is no hal. We see time in factors, in hours. We break hours in minutes, and we break minutes in seconds. A few seconds ago, I started this surah. That is my mazi now. And if you think that was hal, it is gone. What I am saying right now, after 1 second, it is mazi. And I don't know if I will be able to finish this one. So there are only 2 time frames, which is mazi and mustaqbil. There is no hal. The hal is going very fast. If you think about it, there is no hal. There is no present. It's everything is going so fast. So wal asr tells us that the time is going so fast, and insan will not even understand how the time has passed. Imam Razi, the same place where he is doing this tafsir of this he said, it's like somebody, a shopkeeper has snow. In those days, remember, there was no ice. Ices that we make artificially. And in the time of Imam Razi, there was. But people used to sell snow in different things. And he said, if a person has a big piece of snow and he is sitting there, and he's looking at it and sitting and the snow is melting, and by the time he wakes up, snow is gone. There is no snow left. All that ice or the snow is gone. That's how the time is. You bring in few minutes, a few seconds, a few years, and by the time you wake up, that time is gone. So the time is going so fast. Shah Waliullah Delvi Rahmatullah, who is a big scholar of this present time, last 200 years, he took one Quranic word, wal asr, just one word, wal asr, and then he explained it, and he explained it so beautifully that this wal asr actually became a category of Islamic, of Quranic studies. This word AlAsr became a category of Quranic studies, and now it's called Tazkir Billah, Tazkir bil Ayam Allah. Tazkir bi Ayam Allah, to remember Allah with these yoms. This is now a specific chapter, specific course in Quranic studies. The people that go to the Darul Uloom, and they go do higher studies, they read this, which is based on one word, AlAsr. This AlAsr touches so many strategic, so many tragedies that we look around ourselves and we see tragedies everywhere. It's so amazing that about 10-15 feet on our left, we have new houses building. You must have seen it when you came in. And then on the right hand, we are building a new masjid. You know, and actually, if you look at it, these are two different contrasts of the life. There will be some people will be coming in and living into these houses, and they will be making it and painting it and putting a different kind of wardrobes and different kind of wall coverings and for, you know. And I was looking into a book today, and something came up, and I started crying. When I read it, I started crying. Some old days, it's about 1,000 years old. A poet wrote something. He says, Ayn al-Aba wal-Ajdad. Ayn means where. Aba is father. In Arabic, Jad means grandfather. Word Baba is actually an Arabic word. The same word when somebody called Papa, same. Papa we call father. But Be becomes P in English, so it's Papa, or the P becomes Be in Arabic, so the Baba and Papa is same thing. So Aba means fathers and Ajda means grandfathers. He says, Ayn al-Aba wal-Ajdad. Where are your fathers and grandfathers? Wa ayn al-Mariz wal-Awad. And where are the sick people and the one who goes there, ayadat, the one who goes to ask? Mariz are gone, patients are gone, and the people who go and ask them, how are you, brother? Okay, don't worry. They are also gone. Ayn al-Aba wal-Ajdad, wa ayn al-Mariz wal-Awad, wa ayn al-Fir'ana wal-Shaddad. And where are the Fir'auns and Shaddad? Fir'aun is gone also. And Shaddad is gone also. He had made a Jannah for himself. وَأَيْنَ مَنْ بَنَّ وَالشَّيَّدْ وَزَخْرَفْ وَنَجَّدْ. And where are the one who made big buildings? Banner, from Bunyad, from وَأَيْنَ مَنْ بَنَّ وَالشَّيَّدْ وَزَخْرَفْ وَنَجَّدْ. And where are those who make big buildings and then they really decorated it? They made palaces and they decorated it and they made beautiful doors on it and glasswork and everything. وَغَرَّ الْمَالِ. And where are the one who used to gharra on their mal, on their wealth? وَالْوَلَدْ. And their sons. A man always very proud of his mal and his sons. وَأَيْنَ مَنْ بَغَى. And where are those who do bagha? وَالطَّغَى. Oh, I do this and I do that. That's bagha and tagha in Arabic. وَجَمَّ فَعَوَى. And he collects small and he collects things. وَقَالَ أَنَا رَبَّكُمُ الْأَعْلَى. And where is the one who said, I am the Lord? Fir'aun said, أَنَا رَبَّكُمُ الْأَعْلَى. And angels took the dirt and shoved it in his mouth, which is in his mouth till today. So where are those? They are all gone. The time has took them. The Asr has took them down. Now they are only stories. Look at all the humans. I was today, my wife took me out for some shopping things. I hated always, but I had to do it. And we stopped at a light, and I saw the man and the woman, they were in the car next door. And they were like, you take some fish out of the water, and the fish, jumped. They were jumping up and down on the music. Like they were not human, there was something wrong with them. So I moved a couple of lines onto the left. I said, that's not humans. I mean, there is some basic dignity to humanity. I mean, human walks, whether it's a Muslim or a Hindu or a Jewish or a Buddha, they put some clothes on. Why? Because that's human dignity. You walk erect. You wash yourself. Why? Because it's a human dignity. You sit in a car like a human being because it's a human dignity. But when you're dancing up and down and you don't know that there are 2,000 people around, there is no human dignity left. People are so lost, they even lost their human dignity. There are people who work hard, work like dog. They can't make 2 meals a day. There are people who walk miles and miles to get 1 gallon of water. You ever watch news in Africa? The lady who walked 40 miles with 4 children, by the time she got to the water, she had only 1 child left. 3 were died on the way. Can you imagine? Just for a glass of water. Rich people have their own problems also. They cannot be very peaceful at daytime. Trust me, they have this many medicines with them in their briefcases, and they keep popping the pills. And funny thing is, in the last few years, every so-called big man and big woman who died with pills. They overdosed it, or they got the wrong pill, or got too many pills, or too less pills, and they die. They have their own problem. They cannot sleep at night. Either they are up all night, or they have to still pop some pills. And the tragedy, the peak of the tragedy is that all of a sudden, he's standing in front of his Lord. Like Surah Inshiqaq, ayah number 6. Ya ayyuhal insan innaka qa'adun ila rabbika qadhan. That, oh human, all of a sudden you are now in front of your, and Umar Raziyallahu Ta'ala anhu, when he was coming back from Hajj from Medina, he lay down and he said, oh Allah, my bones are now hurting. I'm getting old. And I wish I was not a human. I was a little sparrow, a little bird that there is no hisab. He said, I wish I was a little straw of hay that had blown with the air. And in Farsi, the Shair said, Mera hai kash ke madar na zade. I wish that my mother has never given me birth. I wish I was never born. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Illa allazina amanu. And now the exceptional rules come in. Now except those that accepted Islam, وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, and did good deed, وَتَوَاسَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاسَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Over majority, over when I said over us, 3 people, Muslim, majority, they think just Iman, man's Iman is good enough. And even Iman, they go to the legal issues. And I am saying something, and please don't start taking big rocks and start throwing at me. Legally, Abdullah ibn Ubay was a Muslim. Remember, he was a big munafiq. Ibn Ubay, he gave very hard time in Medina to Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He was a big munafiq. But legally he was Muslim. Legally every munafiq is a Muslim when he says, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu rasuluhu, that person is Muslim. Whatever is in his heart, that is between him and Allah. Zayd Raziyallahu Ta'ala anhu, he was in a battle and he was fighting with the kafir, and he trapped him down and he pulled the dagger. And as soon as he was trying to hit him, he said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. But he killed it. When he came back to Prophet ﷺ and he told him that what happened, the Prophet ﷺ said, did you see his heart inside? What he really did. He said, no, Prophet, O Prophet of Allah ﷺ, he was just lying that I shouldn't kill him. And Prophet 3 times said, did you see his heart? Maybe he was saying it. Maybe he was sincere. So legally a munafiq is a Muslim. And that's all we do, all kalma, and say, okay, legally we are Muslim. And we have big hopes. The hope is good. But whoever Allah gives a little bit of akal, a little bit fame, they said, okay, we should do amal saleh also. So that they make it 2 things. Most of the ulama and most of the satizas and our parents and our teachers, they said we should bring iman and we should do amal saleh. And then the buck stops here. So there's 2 things still left in there. Tawasaw bil haqqi wa tawasaw bil sabr. Yes, iman and amal saleh. But tawasaw bil, they think tawasaw bil haqq and tawasaw bil sabr is something that when you are in a greater, you are a big peer, you're a big alim, and you're a big ustad, and that's for them. Common people should not be doing that. And Quran never speaks to big alims, it speaks to human masses. It goes and touches a baddu. Quran talks on a baddu level. أَفَلَا يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَى الْإِبِلِ كَيْفَ خُلِقَتْ وَإِلَى السَّمَاءِ كَيْفَ رُفِعَتْ. He talks to baddu. And he says, don't you see how I made the camel? No. Who rides on the camel? A baddu. He says, look at the camel. How I made it. How the khaliqat of it. For 1 month you don't give it any food, any water, and it's still going on. So he's sitting on the camel and he remembers that أَفَلَا يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَى الْإِبِلِ كَيْفَ خُلِقَتْ. How the ibil, how the camel is made. وَإِلَى السَّمَاءِ كَيْفَ رُفِعَتْ. And how, and then he looks at the sky and he says, yeah, it's high. وَإِلَى الْأَرْضِ كَيْفَ سُطِحَتْ. And how this earth is straight. وَإِلَى الْجِبَالِ كَيْفَ نُصِبَتْ. And how I have put in this. So it talks on a human level, not on a peer or a ustad or a big alim level. It talks to you and me. Maulana Hamiduddin Farai, big alim, I was looking at his tafsir and he said, what is iman? Iman is the combination of 2 things. One is your physical condition, and the second is your spiritual condition. These both come together and it is made iman. That's iman. All the things that we believe, which is our aqidah or our dogma, and then our amal, there are 2 parts of it. One is ilm. Ilm means what we know. Okay. All of us have a little bit ilm. We know the kalima, we know the iman and mujmal, we know imam and musul, we know some Quran, we know salat, we know Quranic surah. That's all ilm. We know what is right, what is wrong. I believe we should not be lying, we should not be stealing, we should not do that. That's all ilm. And then one is amal. And then how we imply that ilm on our daily life, that is amal. If you leave one out, the other is worthless. Ilm and amal goes hand by hand and together. One without another is nothing. Maulana Farai says, just like from iman, this is the same surah he is explaining. He said, just like from iman, amal salih is born. If you don't have iman, no amal salih is coming up. So illal lazina amanu, that's the first thing. So the ultimate result of that is amal salih. From amal salih, tawasi comes out. Tawasi is born out of Amal Saleh. Because whoever likes haqq, then he will love haqq and he will not the haqq to go down. Not even that, wherever he will see that somebody is teaching somebody else's haqq, he will try to stop it. He will go and get support and help that person whose haqq has been taken. And once you start loving haqq, everything else is secondary in your life. Umar Raziyallahu Ta'ala an, one time he asked Bilal Habashi Raziyallahu Ta'ala an. He says, Bilal, what happened with you? Tell us. And Bilal said that Abu Jahl used to tie my hands and my legs, and he used to drag me. And then they would take wood and burn it. And when the wood would really red coals, just like when we do barbecue. And when the coals are red, and he would put me on those coals. And the blood and the fat from my body would extinguish those coals. And Umar said, let me see your back. And he took the shirt off of his back, and Umar put his hand. Umar was a big man. Remember, his hand must be twice as big as mine. And he put his hand, his fist, and his fist disappeared in his back. Why? Because he loved haqq. And once haqq goes in, one man wrote, he was the uncle of Hazrat Khadija Raziyallahu Ta'ala. He became blind in his last days. And he was going by and he said, somebody was crying like somebody is slaughtering somebody. And I told the man who was guiding me, take me, what is going on? And he took me and I asked him, what is going on? And he says, they have put Bilal on burning coals. And Abu Jahl is hitting on his face and telling him, say, Ulul Hubal. Hubal is the biggest one. And he would say, Allahu Ahad, Allahu Ahad, Allahu Ahad. That is when you do Tawasaw bil Haqq. And what happens after Tawasaw bil Haqq? Tawasaw bil Sabr comes in. Sabr is the fruit. It comes out of the Tawasaw bil Haqq. And then he will tell other people also do the same thing. Go see somebody who's doing something wrong and tell him, brother, don't do that, please. Tell him very nicely and see how his face changes. His eyes will get big and his teeth will come out and like, you know, he wanted to chew you alive. But then you just walk away because that's sabr. Sabr has a very strength. When I was in Saudi Arabia, I used to go to Arab people's houses. They were my friends, they were my business partners. And we were sitting there and the little children will come in. And every time little children, they'll come and kiss the foreheads of their elders. Fathers, uncles, grandfathers. And it happened a lot. So I asked them, what is it? Why? They said, this is our tradition. But that did not satisfy me. So one day I looked into the olden books and I found out that the time of Umar Raziyallahu Ta'ala, a group of people were in some Roman port. And one of them was a Sahabi. So somebody told the king of that area that this group of traders are here, and one of them of the Sahabi of that Rasul that was born in Arabia. It should arrest him and bring him to me. They got him. First he met him with a lot of, and he gave him a good place to sit. Then he brought some wine or something. They said, no, we don't do that. He said, how can you say no? It's from a king, must do that. He said, no, we don't. Our religion, our prophet told us not to do that. And then he started giving them hard times. And he beat them and he did everything and they didn't do that. So he put him in jail. And he wanted to test that Sahabi specifically. So he gave them every hard time. He didn't give them food for so many days. And then he hired some very beautiful women and they were not fully dressed and they took the food which was not halal food, maybe pork or something, and sent him to jail. And those people didn't even look at him. And they said, eat, and they tried to do everything, and they didn't. And that women came back and they told to the king, Ya Malakun, O king, Ma Hazal Bashar, these are not humans. Shajarun or Hajarun, either they are trees or they are stones and rocks, but they are not human. They didn't even look at us. He said, I have one more thing to do. He called them all. And he got a big pan full of oil and he said, burn it. He heated it up. Then he said, pick one and throw him in that oil. And they took one man and threw him. And he got fried. And that Sahabi started crying and he said, oh, I got him now. And he says, now you know. He says, no, king, I'm not crying that you throw him in there. I'm crying that why you didn't throw me in there. I should be the one to go in there. And the king now knows there's nothing else he can do. And now everybody in his kingdom knows. He said, okay, I give you one last chance. If you come in and kiss my forehead, I will let you all go. And he did mashura with his people, and his people said, well, it's not against Sharia. If that can save our lives and everything, he's giving us a hard time, go kiss his forehead. It's nothing against Sharia to kiss somebody's forehead. So that man got up and he went there and he kissed his forehead. And he let him go. And when Umar Raziallahu Ta'ala found about it, he got everybody from Medina, outside Medina, both sides of the road. And when they came in, he said, everybody kiss his forehead. And from that day, that tradition came in, that every time they see somebody aged, somebody, teacher, alim, a father, a grandfather, the kids go and kiss to give the respects. If you hold somebody's hand, he's a zalim, he's an oppressor, and says, don't do zulm on this one. You are ultimately his enemy. Now remember one of the pharaohs of this time says, either you are with us or you are with them. The pharaoh of this time, when he wanted to attack an innocent country, he said, either you are with them or you are with us. If you are not with us, then you are your enemy. This is the human nature. This is not very easy. There is an Urdu sher which says, ये शहादत गाहे उल्फत में कदम रखना लोग आसान समझते हैं मुसलमान होना. It's not very easy to be a Muslim. It's not very easy. When Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam went for Mi'raj, he met Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. And they met and he said, I wanted to give you a message for your ummah. And tell your ummah that the Jannah is huge, is big, very big, bigger than from earth to the heavens. And we don't know how big it is. The only we can imagine that a star that was not even closer to the first heavens, that star extinguished 13 trillion light years ago. Light traveled 186,000 miles per second. And that star was extinguished 13 trillion years ago, light year. And the light is still coming, star is not there. That's how big the Jannah is. But tell your ummah that you have to build the Jannah. To saying Subhanallah, saying Alhamdulillah, saying Allahu Akbar. you are putting blocks of your own palace. You have to build it your own. It's very, very difficult to be a Muslim. That's why Ibrahim ﷺ made a dua when he was building the Kaaba. Rabbana ja'alna muslimayna lak. Oh Allah, make us among Muslims. And in Farsi the Shair said, Balarzam chagoyam ke Musalmanam, that I tremble, I shiver when I say I am Muslim. Balarzam, I shiver. Chagoyam ke Musalmanam. Chidanam mushkalat la ilaha illallah. Because I know how difficult it is to say la ilaha illallah. May Allah give us the tawfiq and the courage to stand on tawasul al-haq and to do tawasul bis-sabr. قولوا قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم.